My name is Cesco Reale. I'm the founder of the project KomunIKON. The name of the language is IKON, language of icons in English, or iconos. I will explain right now what I'm talking about. So IKON is the name of our visual language. And then we use the word ikono to refer to an individual icon of IKON, of our language. The root comes from Esperanto. I will briefly introduce the project. We are legally based in Switzerland, and we are an association of over 40 people collaborating in different teams: linguists, graphic designers, IT specialists, communication, strategy, and legal. And so now I will proceed also to the description of the icons. So we can go to the next slide. Each icono has a visual grammar, or let's say the language has a visual grammar, and as you can see, we have a central part of the icon, plus some external parts that we are going to describe right now. It is very flexible in the sense that, as in any language, we can play with different morphemes and modify the meaning of each icon. So this is the central part, what is called the root in linguistics. For example, in English, from the root sign, S-I-G-N, we can have other words such as signal, designate, etc. Okay, so in linguistics we call that a root, and then from the root you can add some morphemes that in this case are called iconyms to modify the meaning. For example, we have the gender. We have 3 genders: male, female, or non-binary. For now, we plan to add more, but for now, we keep it simple. We have modes, like, for example, imperative and conditional. We have the reference. It's a bit complicated, but I will just give an example. When you say I have many cats and dogs, it can mean dogs and many cats, or many cats and many dogs. And so the reference allows to disambiguate this kind of cases. We have the role, like, for example, the agent, the patient, reflexive, or reciprocal. Also here, I don't have the time to go into details, but a simple explanation would be just subject and object, for example, in languages. So in order to understand who is doing the action and who is receiving the action. Then we have the border. In the border, we have colors and shapes for the parts of speech, like name, verb, so noun, verb, adjective, adverb, conjunction, preposition. And then also a gray is just undefined part of speech. And then a multiple border means plural. Finally, we have the time tenses. So we have a timeline to describe the tense and also the aspect of the action, if it is a punctual action or a during action, like I am going, for example, etc., or even a repetitive action, etc. And so we have different types of ikonoi. You can go on. Yeah. For example, we have pictographic icons that try to represent concrete objects like tree, tower, world, or earth. We have symbolic icons. For example, love and to be. We use symbols that are already used in the iconography of a specific domain. We have contrastive icons, for example, that show opposite meanings. For example, the first icon is ancient, so we have two ancient objects, let's say, and two modern objects, and then we put a green mark on the part that we want to mean. So the interpretation is these are ancient objects. We want to mean ancient objects and not modern objects. And same for example, light or tired. We have hyperonymic icons. A typical example is for fruit is a hyperonym, and apple, banana are hyponyms in linguistics. So here, for example, for birth, we have represented three different types of birth: plants, animals, and humans. For government, we have represented 4 different types of governments. And for season, the central icon, it's without the red circle would be season, but with the red circle that highlights the bottom part means winter. So among the seasons, we are specifying the winter. And this is a hyponym. And one more type, there are more, but here we just finish here, is the processual icons. For example, for to take, we decide to have in 2 steps, step 1 and step 2, or to decide or to choose, also we have 2 steps. As you can understand, some icons are quite complex. In some cases, we were able to simplify them. In other cases, not yet. But for us, the important thing is to have. For us, it's more important to have a precise icon than to have a very quickly recognizable icon. So our aim is to try to be precise also for language learning. It's one of our aims is to help language learning. Okay, so I give the floor to Aiman, our chief graphic designer.
Oh, hello. Let me just adjust my setup again for a moment. Yeah, let's pick up where we left from. I just want to introduce myself real quick. My name is Aiman Amine, and I lead the graphic design team at KomunIKON. Originally, I come from a visual communication and design background, but my keen interest in semiotics led me to join KomunIKON, where I focus on simplifying the visual language and enhancing the overall aesthetics of IKON. First, I'd like to mention that we aim to make this presentation fun and engaging, because beyond our hope of breaking language barriers by iconifying objects, actions, and feelings, one of our main goals with IKON, as Cesco just said, is to also help people learn languages, whether it's a second language or a first, including individuals with learning disabilities and challenges as well. So first part of this chapter about graphics and linguistic aspects is vectors and arrows. So in IKON as a language, translates concepts by representing real world experiences, and hence it makes extensive uses of vectors and arrows, also referred as indexial lines. These vectors are defined by a visual realization of movement, action, and action verbs, and they connect actors to their goals in IKONOS. Here onto some arrow uses. We have the first type, which is indicative arrows. They are used to indicate a specific object inside the scene, featuring one or more than one, sorry. So here for the first icon to the left, it's the icono for price. If you simply have an object and a price tag attached to it without an indicative arrow, you wouldn't know what it's really about. Is it the product? Is it the price tag? Is it the price itself? So you have to have an indicative arrow and use it. Same for the second icon, which is the icon for origin or source. If you don't actually point at the source or point of origin, then people might be lost. Same goes for the icon for previous. It wouldn't be clear if it wasn't for first the timeline and second the indicative arrow. Second type would be indicative circles. They are more precise than indicative arrows, and they indicate a part of an object or a group. So for example, if we want to showcase the meaning of a wing, you can do this either by taking a day long of verbal explanation to someone who doesn't necessarily speak your same language to explain what a wing is, or you can just point at that part of the bird itself. Same goes for the other icons, for the icon for team, for example, or for spring as part of the season's icon again. And then we have transformative arrows. They simply show change of state or the process of going from one state to another. And here you see it in the icon of the verb to unlock. We've always felt a lot of ambiguity looking at the lock that's always next to passwords in any website where you want to enter your password, or in apps where it shows where it features a lock option. When you see a locked lock, does it mean that it's locked or that you have to click this lock to unlock it? And so here this question got raised of how can we really solve this issue? And hence we introduced a transformative arrow that shows actually the moving from one state to the other. Same can be seen in the second icon, which is the icon of to tire or to get tired. So first state is being fully energized. Second state is getting tired. And the arrow shows the process of going from the first state to the second. Fourth type and last one is our motion arrows, and they help interpret motion and distinguish different motion directions. Those are pretty simple. They don't need much explanation. You see them in comic books. You see them everywhere. They just help show the direction of the motion or the action happening. Going on to the color palettes, our color palette is simply based on the human perceived color spectrum, and it helps recreate real life scenes in our IKONOS. The palette itself can be broadened by creating more shades and hues of base colors to accommodate for more chromatic combinations and uses. And then to the color IKONOS part, I'm going to give the floor to Cesco again.
Yes, quickly. This was a very interesting topic that we inserted also in the paper. Was led by Phimolporn Hitmeangsong. She's a Thailandese psychology student. that works with us already a couple of years, and so basically we discovered a website that allows to have hues and colors associated with words in several languages. So we did a long work of research of the of stable colors. So colors so that if you move a little bit the RGB code, the word remains the same in all the selected languages. And so we selected 3 hues per color. And then we also decided to add a prototypical element that represent that color. And finally, we added also a semantic symbol that represents the whole category of colors. And so we decided to use the spectrum, the vertical spectrum, to indicate that the category of this icon is referring to colors. Please, Aiman.
Would you like to explain the reason why we didn't opt for a chromatic
wheel? Sorry. I forgot this part. Sorry. And so we had 3 candidates for this semantic symbol. We had the spectrum, the rainbow, and the color wheel. And finally, after some internal discussions, we decided to go for the spectrum. For 2 reasons. The rainbow has also many other association, like LGBT, for example, and more. And the color wheel is scientifically not precise. And so we finally discarded these 2 and we kept the spectrum.
Thank you, Cesco. On to facial expressions now. I mean, we are all familiar with the concepts of face emojis, and we use them intuitively on a daily basis. But opting for flat design faces is also a technical decision that helps us spare time and optimize our workflow in the graphic design team by parsing from our catalog of iconified faces instead, which also helps us ensure coherence and visual harmony throughout our icons. How we go about it, exactly how Edgar said before, whenever we need a new icon, whenever we need a new face, we create it on the go. You just can't create everything at once. And because, like, think of it, how many facial expressions are there and how many get invented with every generation that comes. So some of the characteristics of these flat design faces are, first of all, that they are agender, and they make us avoid confusion of genders in our iconos. Same way Cesco explained at the beginning, that if you want to change, if you want to point at the gender of featured human element in an icon, you do it using the iconim, so the lateral small symbols inside each of the icons. Second characteristic, well, it's obvious, they are all minimalist by nature, or minimal by nature. So that means more optimal file sizes for our icons. Third of all, same with the logo design, you have to make sure that it's scalable and that it stays clear to look at even on a small scale. By being flat designed, these facial expressions can be pixel friendly, because sometimes some people are using old devices, and therefore you have to make sure that everything is crisp and clear. Now, building on the important topic of the absence of personal pronouns in the emoji universe, a topic that was raised on day 1 of Symbol 24 Symposium by Professor Jochen Gross, whose presentation I recommend revisiting among many interesting others. This absence of personal pronouns in the emoji universe, it prevents us from creating many coherent sentences using emojis in chat apps like WhatsApp, for example. And that for this reason and many other reasons, we've realized the need and importance of creating iconos for each one of them. And so we have personal pronouns, like all of the personal pronouns that are mostly used on a daily basis. So I, you, he, she, etc. And now using these personal pronouns and the facial expressions and all the elements we've introduced so far, let's see how it all comes together to form iconic sentences. Remember, gray means undefined, red means verb, yellow means noun, blue means adjective, and green means conjunction or preposition. I'll let you try to have a quick read of the iconified sentences, although it's already spoiled. There is text that accompany it. But another visual communication issue raised on day one of Symbol 24 was the ambiguity caused by cultural differences, which hinders iconified languages from being understood globally. Some of these challenges contributing to these problems are the different semiotic meanings of symbols across cultures and the differences in reading directions. The problem of reading direction we address by ensuring that our icons are naturally mirror-friendly, meaning that they can be flipped left to right or right to left, while still retaining their coherence and meaning. As to the challenge of the different semiotic meanings of symbols across cultures, we make extensive use of hyperonymic icons as well, because sometimes you can't pinpoint at a concept without referring to a whole and vice versa. Additionally, these icons, they allow us to convey one unified meaning through a collection of signs that may vary and be specific to each culture. Like this icono that I invite you kindly to guess in the chat. 10 seconds maximum. Cesco, can you tell me? I'm not able to see the chat. Do we have some entries?
Let me check. Thanks by Edgar Waltert.
Okay, well, exactly. Thank you to everyone who purchased a ticket and dedicated their time to attend the symposium. Thank you to Sue, Karel, Martin, Vibo, Vasula, and everyone at the Symbol Group for hosting such a wonderful event that brought passionate people together. We highly appreciate the attention to our presentation and welcome your feedback, which you can submit through our social media or any of our contact channels. You can try and build some of iconic sentences yourself by going to text2icon.komunikon.com. You can send us a feedback or email us at info@komunikon.com. And you can visit our website. The website is a bit old, they say, and it's currently under renovations, and we will soon come back with a new website.